Creepypastas. A delicious sounding word that hails back all the way to 2007, a specific genre of homegrown folkloric horror that reaches across every inch of the internet. ChatGPT. It's kind of like a robot that can talk to you and answer your questions. It's obviously been programmed with a lot of knowledge, and you can use that knowledge to find information on the internet, translate languages, or help you write stories. Now, I don't usually do this kind of video, but the writer's strike happening and everything, this had me thinking, does ChatGPT have what it takes to scare the frickles out of me using just fiction and AI imagination alone? Now, to figure this out, I had to feed ChatGPT some decent creepypasta prompts, right? Where would I get those prompts? ChatGPT, of course. It gave me this list of spooky titles. There were a lot of them. Nothing too inventive though, I must say. So I picked two that I thought were the most interesting and rolled with it. The Disembodied Voice and The Shadow in the Woods. I copied them down and popped them right back into ChatGPT, asking it to write me a creepypasta with the same title. The first one was The Disembodied Voice, and it was a story. It told of a time a group of teenagers were led to an old trunk in an attic by a disembodied voice. Only to be confronted by a ghost who told them about how it died, and to never tell anyone about this meeting or they'd suffer the same fate upon death. Then, it randomly told the same exact story again with a different group of teenagers in the last paragraph. Years later, a group of teenagers decided to explore the abandoned house once again. They had heard the stories of the disembodied voice, but they didn't believe them. As they climbed the stairs to the attic, they heard a voice whispering their names. It was the same voice that had called out to the previous group of teenagers many years ago. And as they opened the trunk, the ghostly figure rose up once again, reminding them that some things
are better left undisturbed.
I think it's pretty cool that ChatGPT came up with it out of thin air on command, but was it a good story?
No.
Definitely not. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end, but it didn't feel creative, new, nor did it scare the frickles out of me. So for the next title, I decided to zhuzh up the input a bit. Write me a truly terrifying creepypasta. Something creative, new, and memorable. Give it the title, The Shadow in the Woods. And to make the experience the best it can be, I decided to put sound effects in there. And this is what it gave me. Deep in the heart of the forest, there lies a darkness that few have dared to explore. It is said that within this darkness, a shadowy figure resides, one that preys on unsuspecting travelers and hunts them relentlessly until they meet their gruesome end. They call it the Shadow in the Woods. Legend has it that the Shadow was once a man, a hermit who lived alone in the woods. Over time, he grew bitter and twisted, consumed by the darkness that surrounded him. He had a pact with the spirits of the forest, offering them his soul in exchange for the power to exact his revenge on those who had wronged him in life. Now, those who venture too deep into the woods are stalked by the Shadow, a shapeless, formless entity that seems to move and shift with the very trees themselves. It whispers in the darkness, its voice a low, guttural growl that sends shivers down the spine of even the bravest adventurer. Many have tried to confront the Shadow, to banish it from the forest once and for all, but none have succeeded. Some say that the Shadow cannot be defeated by mortal means, that it is a force beyond comprehension, beyond reason. But the most chilling aspect of the Shadow in the Woods is that it is never satisfied. It hungers for new victims, new souls to add to its collection. It waits patiently in the darkness, biding its time until it finds the perfect prey. And when it strikes, it leaves no trace behind, no evidence that its victim ever existed. All that remains is the sound of its cruel laughter echoing through the trees, a haunting reminder of the terror that lurks within the forest. So, if you ever find yourself wandering through the woods at night, be warned. The shadow in the woods is watching, waiting, and it will stop at nothing to claim you as its own. Not too shabby. Sadly, not terrifying either. I think the story was technically well crafted, but the lack of imagination, the classic creepypasta perspective where someone is letting you in on a secret, was sorely missed. I think it is interesting that in both of these stories, the overarching theme was revenge. Both the ghost and the shadow gained their powers from revenge. Overall, I think ChatGPT is on the road to a truly great AI-powered story generator, but currently, I see it more as a helpful brainstorming tool. But hey, what do I know? What do you think? Were you scared by the story? Will ChatGPT kick anyone out of your favorite show's writer's room? Let me know. Hey, but maybe ChatGPT is just biding its time to exact its revenge on us.